Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Rayz Dayz, episode 107. This is the show where I recap my week. And last week, I was having a great week. Maybe a little bit of anger coming out, resentment coming out in the last episode, but I had a great week, and I had a feeling that I should probably prepare for a downswing in my attitude, because I was feeling like maybe I'm a little manic right now. And I don't know, I've never been diagnosed, and I don't think I'm very extreme. If I am, have like a manic depression, bipolar, whatever, I would love to have money so I could, pay rent and actually go to doctors and get new glasses and get my teeth worked on and maybe even go to therapy and work on all of my problems that I have. But I definitely have realized, especially the last couple years, but the last 10 years overall, I haven't been in any relationships really. And I've been trying to, for almost 10 years, been trying to figure out how to make a living not working for a company. Trying to figure out how to make a living from the things I love to do, like doing the show, hopefully one day getting sponsors for the show. If there's a dentist out there that wants to sponsor me, do some dental work, I'll promote your place we'll work out the length of sponsorship, all that kind of stuff. That would be awesome. Of course, my artwork and all of the merch and things that I'm selling in conjunction with that, the prints, the t-shirts, all of that stuff. There's a lot of potential for me to make money and survive. I'm just not good at something. I am missing an ingredient. I'm missing an element somewhere, and I'm trying to figure that out. But one thing I've noticed is just how I am and how I react to things, and understanding the type of person I am, and understanding that it's okay to be the type of person I am, to be like the antisocial guy. Like it's my entire life, it has been looked down upon like a mental disease that I like being alone. I'm an only child. I got used to being alone early. And then I spent a lot of time at friends' houses, for summers, on vacations. I've been away. I've never really had that feeling of like having like that family connection type of a thing. So in that aloneness, I am very comfortable. And I'm an introvert. There's a reason why I podcast and I make paintings and I watch movies. None of those are social activities, unless you're doing a podcast that does interviews, and whatever. There's a lot of different styles of podcasts out there. But what I'm doing, my life right now, is literally the life I want to live. If I could just figure out how to make more money doing that and actually survive doing that. That is the element that I'm working on. But I realize that I am that person. I am very introverted. I love watching movies where it's just me focusing on the movie. I enjoy painting where I can just block everything out. I enjoy those things. And I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with the fact that I've dealt with, I know I've dealt with depression. I know I've definitely dealt with anxiety, panic attacks, all of those things. I understand I have issues, probably PTSD. I know there's a lot of stuff. Again, if I could afford help, I would get help. But I'm also come from a generation, and I also was raised. I never went to the doctor. I'm a man. I'm not supposed to ask for help. I'm supposed to have all of the answers. If I'm having a bad time, I need to shut up, suck it up, and deal with it. That's like the generation I grew up. You know, that's what I was told how I'm supposed to be for the majority of my life up until, like, you know, the past few years, 10, 20 years or so with the internet and people understanding that there's an infinite amount of ways to experience this reality that we're living, that a lot of people are dealing with trauma, a lot of people are having issues, a lot of people have problems opening up, a lot of people have these things, and there's just a lot of different types of people. And that it's okay to be a different type of person. But I have realized that when that pendulum for me goes up, there's an inevitable downswing. And it's painful. It's so painful. Like I've had the opposite version of that where it's like things are going bad and then out of nowhere, or even things are going okay, and out of nowhere something amazing happens. Something great happens. Like I've experienced those moments in life, and I'm hoping for more of the. I'm banking on the fact that somehow those are going to happen again for me. But also that it happens in the negative way, and it's so much more noticeable, and because it's so painful. Good, it's amazing when a good thing happens, but it's like that opposite end of that swing, that pendulum swing, is rough. And I kind of called it. I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but it's definitely something that I thought of, where it's like things are going really well. Like, it's very rare that I've had that kind of positive outlook on with zero proof. I'm not like nobody seems to care about the shirts yet. Nobody like the prints, and it's like how to promote those things. There's a lot of things. There's an element there. There's parts I'm missing, and sometimes it happens a lot where I'll do like a big project. There's this big thing I get obsessed with, I go nonstop on, burn myself out, which is something when I talked about the personality test that I took a few weeks ago. I know that in me. I know that I will get lost in a thing that I need to get done or I want to get done, to the point where I know how to push myself. I have spent my life testing myself and pushing myself in so many situations just to survive. So when there's something I want to get done, like it's going to be a positive outcome, I get that, but it's even I push myself just as hard as if it's like a life or death thing. So I got all these updates done. I figured out how I want to structure what I'm going to do when it comes to picking artwork, turning it into shirts and prints and NFTs, and going through my entire, I know the steps that I want to do, but the big project, the big infrastructure that I did to set up, that I was, so just pushing myself to do, made me feel like the feeling you get when you complete something is amazing. It's the reason why I paint, even though I'm highly critical of everything I do. That's the thing. All of my haters, nobody has talked shit about me and my work more than me. I am way better at talking shit about myself and my work than you will ever be. So when people try and talk shit, it's hack. It's so sad. It is so pathetic, the laziness and lack of creativity that comes with the shit talking that I get. It is just, it reminds me of they're just no different than the children I went to school with in middle school who are trying to be mean. It has that that level of ability to talk shit. It's laughable. I am way better. One, I know myself. I know myself better than anybody. And most people have no fucking idea about me. Right? They think they know me. I am guarded as fuck. So when they try and talk shit, it's hilarious. I'm way better at it. And now a quick word from our sponsor. Now you can wear The Many Faces, original art by Ray Taylor. Select pieces from the ongoing series of abstract ink paintings. All products made with high quality materials, made right here in the USA. Go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF merch to browse the entire collection and save yourself an extra 10% when you check out by using coupon code RTSTMF. So once again, go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF merch and save 10% when you use coupon code RTSTMF. And now, back to our show. And I know that when I finish a thing, it gives me like this joy. There is like, I mean, you know, you work a job where it sucks. And like, I worked in Costco in sales. I sold electronics. If I sold hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of electronics in one day, like my joy at the end of the day is no different than if I don't sell anything. Like there is nothing I can look back on from my day of work and be like, oh, there is the work I did. It's not like I built something. It's not like I made something. It's not like I make more money selling more products for a company that doesn't give a shit about me selling products for them. There's like no difference whether I make $1 million for the company or cost it whatever my pay was for that day. But then when you like do anything that like there's something to show for your day, you can have that pride in, I did that thing. I was part of that thing. Like if you do roofs on houses, like there you take pride in the work you do. You know, if it's a job that you do day in and day out, then you can't help but just like take pride in the work you do and want to do a good quality job. Because people that don't take pride in the work that they do usually don't do those things for a long amount of time. Or they focus on kissing ass and then they move their way up that way. But for the people that like are like good people out in the world, the non-kiss assers, the people that ass kissers, the ones that take pride in their work and want to grow in their craft to get better, they enjoy the process of getting better at something. I don't know where I was going with that. Long road. So I know. So you have that. If you like getting good at something and you finish a project, there's a really good feeling you get. I get it. Painting, not as much because I don't spend as much time. Like the paintings I used to do like more surrealism, Salvador Dali kind of style. They would take a long time. And the feeling of accomplishment when that's finally done feels great. Now, what I do, producing this show, painting the 7 faces every week, getting better at the production. Like there are a lot of things in my life that are giving me that drip of whatever that chemical is that you get when you accomplish something. I'm doing that in like little bits, a steady stream. And I've noticed that levels me out a lot more than what it used to be, where like I would do a big project, there'd be this huge high, and then there's just this crash that happens. And that's kind of what I've experienced this week. I experienced the crash this week. Because last week I was like, yes, everything's great, everything's falling into place. And it's like a lot of potential is falling into place. The only thing that would have kept me from the crash is if instantaneously sales were going like crazy, people were buying all my art. Like if I'm bogged down with sales, then that would be the only way to maintain any kind of level of positivity. But like I expected, I got the crash. Monday, I felt sick Monday. And I think it's just allergies. It's starting to cool down and heat up. It's doing that oscillating thing out here in the desert, so it's a lot of pollen, a lot of allergies. And I woke up and I just felt like not good, which is something that, like, for me to get sick is I have so much I need to do. Like, I can't afford to get sick. It's like why I've been so not wanting to even take a chance of getting COVID, because, like, I can't afford, like, I'm on a roll and I don't need to. I need to keep the consistency going, not at a level to where I'm burning myself out like I did, but I woke up Monday not feeling great, and I kind of like took Monday off. I'm like, okay, the Batman came out Monday. I'm going to watch that. I was planning on watching it anyway for a review. And it's like, and I'm going to rank all my Batman movies. So I'll just watch Batman movies on Monday, right? And then I'll start, because I got this new schedule, right? And I was like, I'll push my Monday stuff to Tuesday. Wednesdays, I'm not really doing much anyway. So Wednesday will be, I just kind of push the schedule down, which is fine. That worked out. But what happened Tuesday is that it's weird. It's been forever, and it used to happen a lot more, especially my last relationship, dealing with a lot of trauma with the relationship before that, and then just how I am in general, but mixed with, like, this big up and down and working at a job that I really hated. It's just a lot of factors. The frequency of fluctuation was at a very much higher frequency back then, where now it's kind of leveled out, and then every once in a while I'll get like these big ups and downs, and things will get kind of like spiral out of control like it did on Tuesday. And Tuesday I woke up, and it was a fine day. I was like, okay, I'm going to start doing these things, start editing the clips from the show, and then I just wasn't feeling it. And then got on social media and, like, had two interactions that weren't like big interactions or whatever, but two interactions that both went a specific direction, and it just caused the spiral of, like, that feeling that I haven't had in a long time, but it's such a common feeling when I do, like, get just severe depression, where I get this, like, immense feeling that I'm just unwanted and a burden. Like, I'm just a burden on everybody, which is probably another reason why I like to keep my distance from people, because I don't want to have that feeling that I'm a burden. Probably why I'm not good in relationships, because I have these severe depression that I've never dealt with. But that feeling, which I haven't felt in, I mean, it comes and goes, but it's probably been like a year maybe. It's a feeling that it used to be super common. Like, it used to be my life. Like, so much of, like, I would say, like, the majority of my life in middle school was, like, that feeling 1,000%. Like, every day, that feeling of just, like, what the fuck? I hate life. Why am I here? Nobody wants me here. Like, I do not feel welcome anywhere. I don't fit in anywhere. People don't seem to be happy I'm around. The only time I had good feelings in middle school was when I was playing basketball with my friends. That it was like the only time we could, like, hang out, because we were in different classes and we lived in different parts of town, so we couldn't, like, that was our only time where we could, like, be away. It was the only time I felt like I fit in anywhere, was with these friends playing basketball. And that feeling doesn't come as often. I think once I got out of school, I think, middle school was probably the worst, but then I still felt it throughout my life. Comes and goes. But on Tuesday, I was feeling it hard. And maybe also it's because there's a a person that died recently that kind of maybe that part of that sunk in a little bit as well. But it was rough. Tuesday was a rough day. A very, very, very rough day. And, man, like, you want to talk about just, because my brain just is gone. Just, like, contemplating, just quitting everything. Stopping the show. I mean, first was just like, oh, I'll just stop doing the show. I'm just going to focus on my art. And then it's like, well, you know, then it's like, well, why even do that? It's just like, what, like, just go and just travel or what, I don't know. But I thought all of the thoughts on Tuesday, and none of them were good. And I couldn't focus on anything, could not focus on anything. So I didn't really watch much. I was excited for 420, so I was kind of hoping to just erase Tuesday. Like, Tuesday was done for, and Wednesday was 420. And I love 420 because, obviously, weed is great. I didn't start smoking weed till my 30s. I'm 41 right now, so I've only smoked as an adult. I've only ordered from menus. You know, I've never had a dealer. I've been very privileged in that way, starting as late as I did. And I'm not a big fan of the 420 culture. You know, I don't have the tie-dye stuff. I'm not like the typical. Some people view me as like a stoner, quote unquote. But to people that actually smoke weed, I am far from that. And part of it is, you know, just I don't have clothes with pot leaves on them, except for the shirt that I designed when I started smoking weed. Has a giant pot leaf in the background, which you could buy over at inspireddisorder.com. Join Inspired Disorder Plus today. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus to join. Membership includes members-only discounts and deals. You get access to the Ray Taylor Show completely ad-free, as well as bonus episodes. You get access to the complete live painting archive. You also get access to every single podcast ever produced by Inspired Disorder, hosted by Ray Taylor. You get access to Ray Taylor's personal blog, as well as the opportunity to ask me any questions. So if you want to start a podcast, you're into art, ask me anything. And so many more things are being added every day to Inspired Disorder Plus. So sign up today, become a member, head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus and become an Inspired Disorder Plus member today. But I love 420 because it doesn't have any baggage. There's no religious baggage. There's no, like, you can do whatever you want. You know, and it's like my ideal 420, how I like to celebrate 420 is obviously getting high. I don't have to get super blasted high, but like whatever level of high I feel like getting that day. If I want to do high dose edible and go crazy, then if that's what I'm feeling, that's what I'll do. If I just feel like vaping here and there, whatever, smoke a joint, whatever it is, no pressure. That's the whole day, no pressure. Calm. I am the dude. I am channeling the dude. In fact, part of it, getting high, eating junk food, right? Whatever bad food I feel like eating, that is guilt-free day. Guilt-free day. Junk food. The sweets I want, the junk food like fast food or pizza, whatever it is, no rules. And then obviously watching movies, because I love watching movies. I've probably watched The Big Lebowski multiple times on 420. This year, I watched Russian Doll Season 2, which is a great show to watch high. And even that, I couldn't focus. Like, I definitely wasn't in the downward spiral that I was Tuesday. You know, Wednesday, I was out of it. I still couldn't focus on anything, but I wasn't like, I didn't have that feeling of like I am a burden on like on reality. You know, I'm like unwanted burden. Like I didn't have that feeling. Not that anybody in my life makes me feel that way. It's just I have problems. So I didn't have that, but I still was out of it. You know, enjoyed the show. Kind of wish I had paid better attention while watching the show because it is a crazy show, but there's so many awesome themes. You know, I still enjoyed talking about it on the review, but it was definitely, so I watched that and I ate White Castle. I love those freezer White Castle. I've been watching Impractical Jokers also in the background now that I'm done with ER. And so White Castle shows up in that. And, you know, it's Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. White Castle is tied to weed in a lot of ways, and I enjoy it. I think it's good. I've never been to a White Castle, but the freezer burgers you get, you know, when you microwave them, they turn out pretty good. They're like just perfect, soft little sliders that are so good. So that was primarily my 420, which was a nice recovery day. I mean, for as far as I was concerned, like all of the extra stuff, I did nothing extra. I got the bare minimum. It was a bare bones week. It was like an old school week where I didn't go by my new schedule at all. I got the bare minimum done. It took a lot longer than I thought. But by the time Thursday came around, I was definitely feeling better. I've been meditating before I paint on Thursdays, and then I've been meditating before I record on Sundays. So I've been meditating twice a week. I started that actually before the meltdown. So, you know, I don't know. I wouldn't say it caused the meltdown, but thankfully I started meditating again, at least twice a week. And it's good times to meditate, to like get focused before I record or to just focus before I paint. So I think it's the best place for me to insert it, to just try and add it to my routine, because I haven't been doing the working out. That part of my routine hasn't stuck yet, but you know, it's I got a lot I'm working on, and I'm trying to do all of these things before I run out of money and need to. That's going to be a rough. That's a moment that I've almost run into multiple times in the past few years. Where I just almost lose it all. And somehow I'm still going. It is insane. So anyway, been doing all that. I also had an insane dream. I think it was probably Friday night, maybe. I had this crazy dream. And I have very similar dreams where it's like I'll be in... I'll dream that I'm moving into a like giant house or a room in a giant house, or I'm moving to a different room in a giant house. And this one was in some ways a dream come true, but it was a dream. It's like a giant warehouse that this part isn't part of my dream, but it was a giant warehouse that was attached to almost like a theme park in a way. Like not like a Six Flags type of a theme park, but like, you know, like they have like almost like the parts of a fair that aren't rides, right? So you have different types of shops, like an Old West themey type of a thing. I don't know. I don't really know what the theme park was, but that's what it seemed like the other structures were, because I went on a big tour around this place. I'm like, how do I afford this place? It's like I kept asking the guy questions who was showing me around, like trying to figure out why it is I could afford it, because I couldn't believe it in this dream. And it's like, so it's weird how many times I've had this dream where it's like in my dream, I can afford to live in like a nice place, but like the fact that I can afford it, the fact that I can afford anything in my dreams is such an amazing feeling. But this place, because I've always wanted to live in just like, I would love to live in a warehouse. Just a giant open space where I can do my one thing over here, another thing over here, you know, maybe build a house inside of the warehouse, you know, have a hangout place on top of the warehouse if you need to go outside. But then, like, everything is controlled inside. Amazing. I would love that so much. You have no idea. Have a basketball court, have, like, a go-kart track. I don't know. A movie theater area. Like, if you've ever seen Better Call Saul, it's like there's a scene where they're doing a bunch of construction to build this meth lab, and secretly they're doing it. So they hire all the people they hire from overseas, and they have this giant warehouse, and they built 2 houses inside of the warehouse, and then outside, because these guys were going to be living there for years, but they couldn't go outside. They couldn't, like, be seen anywhere because they're doing everything in secrecy. And they have these 2 houses, and they have a basketball court, they have a bar, pool table, movie theater, all this kind of stuff. And that's like that would be a dream. It would be a dream. Or have the house, and then it extends up to the roof, so you, like, maybe an elevator, so part of the house is like there's a floor on top of the warehouse. That would be badass. But that's what this dream was. But then it, like, turned into, as I'm on this tour, turned into basically a Call of Duty gunfight. Like, I don't know, like a cartel or something invaded this place, and all of a sudden my tour guide and I are killing people, or shooting at people anyway. And it's similar to what happens when I play Call of Duty on my phone. Is like, you know, if you're running around and then all of a sudden you get shot, it'll, you know, you'll see that you got shot, and it'll show you the direction. And then once you see them, especially if you're in close, like, you're just trying to, like, move around like a crazy person while also trying to shoot them. And which is not, like, realistic in any way, what you would do if you're in a gunfight. But when you're playing the video game, that's how I was moving in this dream as a human being, and it was ridiculous. And that's when I knew it was a dream, and then I woke up. But I've been having this dream. So it's like, this dream is fucking me up too, because, like, this needs to be a reality. Like, I would love, I don't know if I would move, I don't know if I would buy a house, but if I had the money, if I could afford to buy a house, that's like, at least I know I have that financial security to where it's like, I could breathe, like, it's so, like, the air you breathe when you're not financially stable versus when you are financially stable is a completely different quality of breath altogether. And maybe I dream of that just so I don't die in my sleep, so I can breathe clearly. But it's a great feeling. Tuesday was not a good feeling. Spiraling out is not good. And I, like, saw it coming. It's like it was slow motion. I'm crossing the street and I'm seeing the bus approach to slam into me, and it's like in slow motion going like, oh no, I'm gonna spiral out right now. And it's like, if I keep doing this, but I can't stop, so why do I exist? So anyway, I hope everybody else had a good 420. Hope everybody's having a good week, and I'm doing a lot better, people. And it's like, I know these, it's like, it's a journey, man, and I'm just trying to enjoy the ride. So hope everybody else is enjoying their ride. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.